Ask him if he would stop going on boats if Israel stops the genocide. I mean, yeah, he's gonna say yes, chat. What are you talking about? Those are like dumb questions. Has he ever had like Western food?
Right.
Wow. What a great question, Hassan.
People near universally calling me a Zionist pig and mass murdering genocidal freak.
Yeah, because Hassan doesn't care. You're not his friend, Ethan. You never were his friend. You were just a means to an end.
Twitch's current head of trust and safety was fired from her previous job due to having too strong of opinions on Israel-Palestine.
Wait, what?
All while hypocritically defending Russia and China's invasion of their neighbors.
You call Crimea? I call it a part of Russian territory, bitch. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River.
It's so funny because he still hasn't walked back that the reason why there are Russians in Crimea is because Russia genocided Ukrainians through starvation and implanted Russians so that they could play this game where it's their territory. And Hassan still hasn't walked that back. And this is the proof that Hassan is just anti-West. He doesn't care about wars. He doesn't care about people dying. He doesn't care if it's men, women, children, anything. He just hates the West. Dream guest on my podcast? Probably Osama bin Laden. All right, guys, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's do it. All right. We have it's the obligatory Willie Mack show video, of course. All right, because they're always bangers. And maybe he'll stop by the stream for a little bit. He does every once in a while. He's a cool guy. I like him a lot. So anyway, this is about Hassan. Listen, we're going to go in a little bit on Hassan because it's fun. And I have to go to Disney soon with my wife. And I want the money. And it's interesting. And you know what? I'm just an honest man. So it's going to be fun. It's called Hassan, the worst political streamer. Propaganda, radicalization, lies, and it's only part 1. This must be a 50-part series. This is going to be incredible. Let's get this going. Okay.
Last year, I started documenting Hassan for his blatantly false reporting.
I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shock. In Israel.
I was right about Ukraine, guys. When I said that Russia was justified in attacking Ukraine. Oh, wait, I wasn't right. Everybody shit on me for that because I'm an idiot.
The airstrike hit the Al Ahli hospital. You were so right. They added 7,000 new troops. So what's going to end up happening is that by April, this is going to be done.
IDF didn't bomb the hospital. Change title. IDF didn't bomb the hospital. Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. The IDF didn't bomb the hospital.
Yes, it.
It was like I think it was confirmed that I'm pretty sure. I forgot. I think it was Hamas. They ended up taking the shells of the bombing, like they got rid of them to hide the evidence because it was like a misfire. I remember that.
Did
I criticized him for being a propagandist, coming to conclusions on breaking news when the story hadn't even been fully reported on.
You right now is the same thing you always do. I'm just saying,
No,
like this, you're
just
doing
stop
it in
saying
real
it's the same thing
time.
you always
You're doing
do.
it in real time, bro.
over the course of an 8-hour broadcast, if you look to literally 3
How
moments,
come nobody
you can
else
find
shut up as much as you, dude? That does 8-hour broadcasts.
because no one has the most psychopathic fandom like idiots like you who sit through.
Thank you for the $2 from Box. Would I have Obama on my podcast? Of course I would. I guess it's Obama, dude.
Every minutia
The coolest black guy in the world.
to find a
called
clippable
research.
moment,
It's
to
actually
find a
just called-
clippable
it's
moment
just
to be
called
like, he
basic
sucks, he's
research.
bad. That's
You
the
make
reason,
research
dickhead.
sound bad,
All right,
bro.
all
He
right.
followed this up by interviewing a terrorist, eating up propaganda about taking
I love how he won't take like conversations with any, like other debaters, but he'll totally run the hard defense for Houthi terrorists. It's incredible. Like what an incredible guy.
hostages.
Dream guest on my podcast? Probably Osama bin Laden.
He's saying he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did caught with them, and he danced some music with them, and he.
The captain of the ship that they stole was Chinese. What a cool guy. One of the people that they held captive was Chinese. That's awesome, man.
He was vibing, so he likes him, yeah.
So I mean, what? That's so crazy.
He's saying that they win over the crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America and the U.S. government.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens. I'm sure that they board these ships, they take them over, they make these people hostages, and they're like, yeah, we really like you guys so much more than America. I'm sure that they feel that way. There's no way they would just say that so that they didn't die.
That's so funny. Okay, that doesn't probably take much.
Yeah, hilarious. The crew is still
Incredible.
held captive. And Hassan continues to glorify terrorism by playing their propaganda and passing it off as happy musicals.
What do you mean a music video?
They love walking over like the American flag and the Israeli flag side by side. They will always like march on it.
When you said music video, I'm expecting like, bad example, Chris Brown dancing, you know?
No. They do like
What is
they do
Yeah, not literal terrorists. That's crazy.
musicals. They're very musical people.
Praising their leaders, all while hypocritically defending Russia and China's invasion of their neighbors.
You call Crimea? I call it a part of Russian territory. Bitch. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River.
It's so funny because he still hasn't walked back that the reason why there are Russians in Crimea is because Russia genocided Ukrainians through starvation for decades and implanted Russians so that they could play this game where it's their territory. And Hassan still hasn't walked that back. And this is the proof that Hassan is just anti-West. That is literally it. He doesn't care about wars. He doesn't care about people dying. He doesn't care if it's men, women, children, anything. He just hates the West. That is literally it. We have to understand this. This is the literal proof. This happened years ago. He still has not walked it back or apologized for this.
Bite the bullet on the Tim Houthi kid. Why? Why would I ever? If I did something that was fucked up by my estimations, I would of course apologize for it. I have time and time again.
No.
Name one time. He can't because he's never owned up to anything. Hassan continues to be the worst political streamer, and Twitch supports him.
Yeah, where is that chatter? He was like, come to Israel. It's so beautiful here. I should go to the old city so I can get my fucking shit pushed in by some of the most inbred fundamentalist hicks.
No, it's not
Okay, incredible.
illegal, it's not criminal, but it feels like it should be. Sort of like those monthly
All right, let's see what it is.
you signed up for,
I was like, what's the ad gonna be?
forgot about, but are still paying every month. I've been paying 2 monthly subscriptions to watch wrestling for the past 2 years, and I didn't even know.
Damn, I didn't know Willie Mack had Down syndrome. That's incredible.
I signed up for the free trial, thought I canceled it, and then
Love you.
signed up again with a different email. And I would have no idea I was doing this if it wasn't for Rocket Money, where after giving them a bit of your personal information, they're able to cancel subscriptions on your behalf. Rocket Money is an all-in-one
That's probably smart, but I probably won't do it.
finance app that helps you save money and spend less. Recently, I've been using it to budget. Now I'm able to invest, pay bills, and still take the lady out on a nice date every now and then. It was my first step towards actually adult.
Where does Willie Mack live? Like, not his actual address. Like, what state does Willie Mack live in? What's his social security number?
Come, take it with me.
I agree. Come.
It's never too late to start. Rocket Money makes it easy, saving customers an average of $740. If you want to save more and spend less, then join the over 5 million people currently using Rocket Money. Then go to rocketmoney.com/Willie Mac to start for free. Thank you, Rocket Money, for sponsoring today's video. Hassan's politics really baffles me. He just doesn't seem very consistent. When Russia invaded Ukraine, he constantly justified it by saying Ukraine and its army was full of Nazis. This is the same propaganda Russia pushes. Hassan acted
Yeah, that's what Russia does all the time. They're constantly pushing propaganda. Like right now, Joe Biden, he's allowing Ukraine to escalate against Russia, which is smart because Donald Trump's going to be in office, and Donald Trump is an anti-American poopy head. That's the official term for that, by the way. Donald Trump is going to come guzzle Russia and let them do whatever they want when Russia is constantly trying to push barriers and take over land and et cetera, et cetera. So Joe Biden let him do it. I don't even know why I went on this fucking rant. What the fuck did I go on this rant for?
Ukraine and its army was full
Oh yeah,
of Nazis.
now I know why. Because we're talking about how Russia's constantly pushing misinformation. I fucking lost myself for a second.
This is the same propaganda Russia pushes. Hassan acted like every citizen in Ukraine was on the verge of fascism.
The reason why a small amount of nationalist forces gaining prominence is additionally f***ing terrifying. It's like Tinder, okay? It can cause a f***ing wildfire of
That's crazy. So when it comes to Ukraine having some radical individuals in the government, it's somehow their fault, despite the fact that they're being genocided by Russians. But when Palestine has radicalized individuals as their literal government, that's okay. Like, I don't understand. Like, we would, in both instances, why wouldn't we understand that there would be more radicalization the more oppressed a country is? I don't know. But, that double standard, we don't know why. Because it's about which side is against the West. That's it.
of nationalism because it's already baked in to the attitudes of the commoner, okay? Every person already has like a predisposition towards nationalist tendencies. So The issue is when you start legitimizing the nationalist guys, boom, all of a sudden the country could turn fascist like that, okay?
He justified Russia annexing Ukraine constantly.
Regardless of whether he wants it or not, he needs it as a buffer state. Exactly.
Exactly, guys. I really hate America.
Exactly. Russia's historic access into the Black Sea, Crimea, that's like historically and ethnically all Russian, majority Russian.
They're Nazis. Everyone's going to be radicalized. But when it comes to a fundamentalist group like Hamas that theoretically would run the country, Hassan doesn't seem to have those same...
Exactly, dude.
He justifies it by using Republicans as stand-ins for Hamas.
I'm saying that the gay people and the trans people that are living under those conditions in Gaza, right, see Israel as a far larger problem in their existence than they do like Islamic fundamentalism in terms of governance. If we were getting ruthlessly slaughtered by an alien force, I wouldn't give a fuck if someone was homophobic or not. I'd be like, thank you for fighting against the alien force. That seems awesome that you're doing that. I would.
Hey, thank you so much for 23 months. Small gut from Skid Widget. Papa, can we get the based Joe Biden meme? Maybe a little later.
Actually arm up side by side with my fellow homophobic Republican rabid Christian fundamentalist sociopaths to try and protect my home. And that's the point.
That's the same thing as the Azov battalion fighting in Ukraine. How does he have these conflicting opinions? It makes no sense. Asmongold made the horrific decision to call Palestinians' culture inferior. Hassan rightfully called him.
Well, it is true, just to be clear. Not trying to be rude. I don't think his issue is calling the culture inferior at all, right? It's not because of anything fundamental to Palestinian people. Palestinians are just like everybody else. But like, yes, that is true. But it has to do with like a history of being oppressed, right? Like by Israel, you know? That's not the issue that I had with what Asmongold said. The issue I had with Asmongold said is it sounded like he was saying it's okay to genocide them because you feel like their culture is inferior. That was the issue that I had with what Asmongold said. It's like he was dog whistling that nobody should care that these people are getting like murdered. That's like the problem, in my opinion, more than anything else. So
him out for this.
These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways.
It's terrifying. Like saying they're inferior, saying they're evil to justify the death and destruction that befalls them is so horrifying.
Because remember, Hassan would never call another culture inferior. He would never do that.
I don't agree in theocracy at all.
But like, wouldn't that mean that it would be inferior? Or,
no, I wouldn't say that any culture is inferior to one another.
I would. I'd say that every culture that's not Western culture is inferior, but people don't deserve to die for being non-Western.
All life must be cherished. Their lives are no different, even if they disagree fundamentally with you.
But if we just go back to last...
Well, I mean, if he's talking about conservatives, he'll say that. Like, so he'll be very different. What can I say? What are you talking about?
Last year, Hassan was justifying China's invasion of Tibet for the same reason. Their inferior culture. He says China's imperialism is good because they focus on taking over their neighbors.
Chinese development and Chinese military action is either irredentist in nature, which is different than imperialism, where it's like it's more so expansive in its own limited area, rather than global imperialism, which is
China's
done with the express effort
land.
with the
Tibet, Taiwan.
Tibet was literally a feudal slave mandate, like
So
autonomous zone.
China did them a favor.
That was one. I mean, in America, when I say something like this, people get very upset. You know, we talk about the Dalai Lama saying "suck my tongue" or whatever, but like that's not far from the norm. And
if you think that it's justifiable to like attack another country because you feel they're inferior, then Israel has every right to attack Palestine by Hassan's logic. Ridiculous.
Normal Tibetan existence before.
Who's to say that's inferior versus superior subjective assessment? Yep, exactly. And subjectively, America has the best culture. Here's the thing, or rather, Western countries. I would say what makes you feel like the West has an equal culture to other countries. You can vote. You have free speech. You have the freedom to choose who you're voting for. You have the ability to be gay, trans. Women have more rights in America. Children have more rights in America. Men have more rights in America. Workers have more rights in America. Explain to me how China is anywhere close to that, where their workers are killing themselves to the point where they had to install nets on their factories to catch workers. They can't vote for free at all. They don't have freedom of speech. The same thing in Russia. What other country would you point to? What non-Western country would you point to that has a better culture? In Canada's neat. Well, that's, you know what's really interesting about Canada? It's a Western fucking country. So I think that at this point you're just arguing with me to argue. So yes, pretty much everything in the world is subjective. We have Western culture is the best culture.
For the Communist Party came in and
so China unilaterally took over Tibet.
Like these are
their culture. They basically are trying to, you know, homogenize the culture.
In the name of squashing an inferior culture, China killed over 87,000 Tibetans. That's 1.2 million, 1 out of every 6 Tibetans since their occupation. I don't understand how you could be pro-Palestine and then support Russia and China. Israel's neighbors with Gaza, does that make what they're doing okay? No, of course not. His politics
By Hasan's logic, yes.
makes no sense. It's constantly contradicting himself.
No, it makes perfect sense. It's anti-West, okay? It's just anti-West. Which, by the way, why wouldn't Hasan like the West? He made graduation. You know what I mean?
But then you realize that he's America bad all the time. That's it.
Because he used to love America so much as a kid, and he grew up, and then he got upset for some reason. He decided to just flip on a dime.
Explain to you 2 principles that you should keep with you, coming from a person who's Turkish, okay?
Whoa.
When you look at a situation in the Middle East, you look at what the local government is and who the Western forces are. Never align with the Western forces. That's a principle that you could take home with you if you want to actually be moral, or if you
Turkey is like one of the most Western countries in the Middle East. What is he talking about?
want to be smart about the way you analyze other countries.
Hey guys, here's the smart way to analyze other countries. Does the West back them? Then they must be bad. Hey guys, it's okay for Russia to genocide Ukraine because the West backs them. But hey, you shouldn't be genociding Palestinians because the West backs the other people. Whatever is the opposite of West. Oh, incredible. I can see why people like him so much, because he's a fucking moron that has no actual intelligence, and people really resonate with that.
That's one basic principle that you can take home with you. All of a sudden, magically, you are above on your foreign policy analysis. You're going to be better off than 90% of people that look at the situation.
That's not what an analysis is. That's doing the same thing Sneeko does. And Hasan's always been this way. He doesn't care about principles or being morally consistent.
Do I think that this could be a dangerous precedent? Absolutely. But the right has been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, but
they've
they're
been
wrong.
able to.
That's the point.
I
the
know,
point is they're
but no
wrong,
one
and I hate
cares
them, and I
about-
hate their tactics.
But no one cares about being morally consistent, or no one cares about.
I do. I care about that.
I know
very
you
much.
do, but in the end of the day,
He just wants his side to win at all costs. It's turned him into running straight up terrorist propaganda for the past 10 months.
Mamma mia, mamma mia.
Well, I mean, I guess it's working. I mean, look at the United States, look at the United States, look at the politics in the United States. The exact same thing happened. Right? Like, conservatives have just been lying through their teeth for years, and it's been working really well. Hasan has been lying through his teeth for years, and it's been working really well. So I guess Hasan's tactic of just lying through his teeth to be as anti-West as possible is working really well. I got to give him that much.
Mamma mia, mamma mia. I'll be making fucking dough in the pizzeria.
Hasan has been rewriting history when it comes to the Houthi terrorist he did propaganda for. Now he's just some random teenager.
Random fucking Yemeni teenager. The Yemeni kid not connected to the Houthis, and doesn't even matter if he was.
Yeah, he was. He's literally talking about how he was friends with the fucking boat captain or whatever that he, attacked the ship of.
Not only does it not matter to me if he was or not, it would obviously change the dynamic of the interview if he was. Most people don't know that he isn't a Houthi or have seen his post about respecting Jews. I don't really care. They will just say, oh, he's doing PR.
These are all provable
Yes, because he hates Jews. What?
lies. When Hasan initially interviewed the Houthi, it was framed as him being a terrorist.
Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. What do you mean? Excuse me.
I can't believe they let him get away with this. It's crazy.
Of course I'm about to have a... I'm a journalist, okay?
Journalist.
Okay, this is journalism.
When Hasan asked if he was Houthi, the guy did not answer, instead referring to the Houthis' justification.
Let me tell you something right now. Everything is we're in a very toxic time where it is almost like encouraged to just lie about everything because the bad sides are doing it. Republicans are doing it. Hasan is doing it. Bad people are just lying as their tactic, and it's just going to push people to lie more and more and more. We're just going to continue down this fucking rabbit hole of people just lying about each other because it works if you confidently lie. It's a little scary.
For pirating commercial ships.
I don't know if he is allowed to speak on this. I don't know if he's like actually a part of the groups at all, or just like simply a TikToker. You know what I mean? I don't know how to ask that in the best way possible, though.
Yeah, I feel like we can ask it pretty directly. His answer is he's a Yemeni who stands with Palestine.
Hasan will go on to greenlight the Houthis' mission of attacking civilian commercial ships on behalf of him and his entire chat.
Dude, we think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. You should tell him that.
The whole point of this interview was to make this Houthi soldier seem relatable. He's just like me and you. One of his viewers would point this out, and Hasan would tell him to shut up.
Maybe explain why you're trying to get this type of humanizing information from. Okay, shut up, chatter. Come on, it's not like that's crazy. What does he have to say to dumbasses that consider him to be a terrorist? What does he think about that?
Well, he is a terrorist, so.
Answer that question. I just banned one of those stupid fuckers in the chat just now.
Wow.
He says, "Who are they?"
I guess they know.
Just fucking dumbasses.
Wow, what an insightful interview. When a viewer offered a real question for Hasan to ask, Hasan ignores it, instead asking about food.
All right. Okay, what else do I want to ask? So, like, I mean, he's ask him if he would stop going on boats if Israel stops the genocide. I mean, yeah, he's gonna say yes, chat. What are you talking about? Those are
That would be the question to ask. What?
they're like dumbass questions.
That's a good question. That's an actual very good question to ask. I mean, he might just say yes, but if he says no, then it's going to show that this is more than just a way to stop like Palestinian genocide, and it's actually just him engaging in shit behavior.
Has he ever had like Western food?
Correct.
Wow, what a great question, Hasan. I actually orgasmed when you asked that. Well, this is our journalist.
Great question. Hasan has woven an imaginary personality for this guy where he's not a Houthi, he's not anti-Semitic, he's basically just Anne Frank.
First of all, he wasn't Houthi. I asked him. He was like, I'm not.
This never happened in his interview. He's just lying. When the pirate was asked if he was a soldier on Instagram, he replied yes. Now his Instagram was banned, but this was still documented in news articles at the time. And who is the current governing body in Yemen? It's the Houthi. Stop believing in this lie from Hasan.
Many people said, oh, he's hiding it. He's PR trained, which is really funny to say about like some random fucking dude who can't even speak English.
I could have swore Hasan said that this kid was PR trained.
You said that. It was because he wanted to answer the only two serious questions you asked.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's very media trained, surprisingly.
Dude, this guy is such a fucking baby. He can't even win an argument with himself. It's incredible.
But, okay.
Now, I used to think Hasan just had zero critical thinking skills, but the truth is he's doing propaganda.
And I asked him, like, what do you think about Jewish people? What if I were to tell you that, like, Jewish people are leading the anti-Zionist movement in America? And he was like, that's great. I love them. That's awesome.
Wow.
Anyone who's against Israel is my friend.
Even
against Israel? What?
Here, Hasan is completely over-embellishing what was said.
Ask him what he thinks about the fact that in America, some of the like leading groups that are pro-Palestine are led by Jewish people who are anti-Israel. How does he feel about that?
He's saying anyone that supports Palestine, we're with.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
I mean, it's not, but being against Israel is not good or smart. It's actually very stupid. Being against what they're doing is different. But when you say being against Israel, that's communicating to me that like you're just against the existence of Israel, and that makes you a fucking moron.
All he said. The same media trained answer he's been giving Hasan all night. Hasan goes on and compares him to Anne Frank.
Like he is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically. Okay, being able to talk to Anne Frank.
The Frankfurter?
In real time.
Now, I don't remember Anne Frank being part of a militia group that boarded commercial vessels and took captives, shooting missiles at commercial ships that have nothing to do with their stated mission.
Incredible. Thank you for $2 from Music Books Explained. Don't think we were moving on the shower, bro. Oh, the shower. Yeah, right.
Against Israel. But you know, Anne Frank had a diary. This guy had Twitter. So
yeah, this guy had diarrhea. I mean, think about it. He's been on a boat for how long? He's eating all that Middle Eastern food. Gives me diarrhea too. They're basically the same person.
Let's read it. Here's him saying you shouldn't be afraid of the Houthi unless you're a Jew. They are very afraid of this title. Here's him insulting his enemies by calling them son of a Jew. He would post pictures on the pirated ship saying ready for
That's me.
sacrifice, longing for martyrdom. Just like Anne Frank, he actually invited Hassan to join the Houthi in operations of Israeli ships. This guy posted an illustration of what he described to
I'd love to see Hassan go on to like one of those things. Would be so funny.
be a Zionist impaled on a stake, saying the executions we will carry out on all Zionists. This guy is anti-Semitic. The Houthi flag states death to America, death to Israel, a curse upon the Jews. And Hassan defends him, saying he's not anti-Semitic, he's just anti-Zionist.
He made a post saying he wants to kill all Zionists and posted a picture of a Jewish person being spiked to death. I don't think that's what he... What? Yeah, I don't know. Also, I don't even give a shit. This is why this entire conversation is f***ing idiotic. It's not a Jewish person. He said, this is, I think if we're... Why am I held accountable for some random fucking 19-year-old in Yemen's tweets? What is happening? How many steps removed are we from this situation? How? How is this the conversation that you want to have right now? I fucking despise all of you, dude.
What an exhausting moron. He platforms an actual like Houthi terrorist, and then he's wondering why people want to hold him accountable. You know, if Hassan wanted to have the educated conversation about the oppression that people are feeling in the Middle East from some Western interference, and that's why they're radicalized into terrorism, which terrorism is bad, but we could talk about like the conditions that happened to get them there. That's a great conversation. But he just recklessly loves to just say, West bad, West bad, West bad, West bad, and then justify genocide when it's against a Western force or a Western nation. Like, there's nothing intelligent about this person. He's not intelligent. He doesn't try to have intelligent conversations. He tries to pander to the lowest common denominator because he's an incredibly stupid fucking person that wants to seem smart. So he tries to talk to other fucking idiots. That's literally it.
I really do. I hate all of you.
You aren't responsible for his tweet.
Crazy.
But you're constantly playing defense for this guy's anti-Semitism. I want to take a moment and talk about the word Zionist. All it means is someone who thinks Israel has the right to exist, which is 90% of Jewish people. Now, Hassan rarely
I feel like it's most people in general. Like, yeah.
gives the definition of Zionist. He uses it like a slur, the equivalent to Nazi.
Fascism is the underpinning ideological movement that the Zionist ideology represents. Same as the Nazis.
The chatter is like, come to Israel and you could get a fuller perspective. And Hassan dogs him.
Yeah, where is that chatter? He was like, come to Israel. It's so beautiful here. You will see the conflict from my eyes.
It's just like my fucking mother trying to speak Spanish. Like, dude, you sound like a fucking moron. You are the whitest person that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's insane. Also, he half squats. I mean, I don't even know. After watching Hassan half squat, how does anybody fucking respect this guy? It's incredible.
Yeah. I should go to the old city so I can get my fucking shit pushed in by some of the most inbred fundamentalist hicks who can enter Israel. What's more to say? Brother, I am not going to Nazi Germany, okay? I hope you understand this. And I mean this with all sincerity and with all disrespect.
And then you got Ethan, who's been very critical of Israel, but is constantly being called a Zionist by Hassan's chat. For what other reason than him being Jewish?
Hassan's Discord, and by the way, to the people who are in that Discord, I saw everything you guys said. It was recorded, sent to me. What I saw in that Discord was near universal praise for Hamas, near universal saying people deserved it, near universal people saying dudes who was like, the hang gliders came in and showed him what's up. People saying he's spitting facts. Near universal. People near universally calling me a Zionist pig, mass murdering, genocidal freak.
Yeah, because Hassan doesn't care. You're not his friend, Ethan. You never were his friend. You were just a means to an end to make him more popular, and it worked. So
Hassan indirectly supports this stuff because they're repeating it from him.
You fucking baying pig. You fucking bloodthirsty, violent pig dog. Suck my dick. You bad faith, apartheid defending, bloodthirsty, genocidal freak.
It doesn't seem like a coincidence that his mod is wishing PTSD on soldiers in subgoaling 9/11 reenactments.
I will never have any pity for any soldiers. The U.S. military? Who fucking who?
rest in peace, Thomas the Tank Engine.
I hope you get PTSD.
Oh no.
I hope you get PTSD.
So strong.
And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
So strong, so brave. So strong, so brave.
She lives in Michigan, by the way.
And literally posted it in my head. I'm like, base? Base? 6250. 9/11 baking stream with Raph and Capri. If we get to this goal...
This is the only reason that people pay attention to her. That's why she says stuff like this, because she's a fucking idiot baby.
By 9/11, Capri, Raph, and I will make the Twin Towers out of a stacked cake. And we'll make an airplane.
Towers? Are they hot twins? Do they make out with each other? I bet they are pretty warm, because they did. The steel beams did get melted, am I right?
And we'll recreate 9/11.
I support it if it's all jokes, but it's coming from their very real political opinion.
Well, it is a joke, but like they believe this, right? Like people use jokes all the time to push things that they actually believe.
It's not surprising that it's Hasan's friend group that goes on stage and does an Arab tier list where Hasan's at the top and Ethan's at the bottom. I'll let Ethan explain.
It's a panel hosted by Frogan and 4 of her friends, in which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator. They've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott. I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad.
Hasan.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder where they're gonna put Hasan. I'm gonna guess they're gonna put him in Arab.
Hasan is Turkish, but he's a brother.
Hasan is actually, I don't know if you knew this, he's thinking about revamping the very popular show Whitest Kids You Know. I don't know if you guys heard about that before. It's incredible stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Yeah, I think he'd be on Arab coded.
I mean, I would put him in Arab, to be honest.
I would put him also in Arab.
Which is great. That's the good one. That's the one you want.
Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one.
Oh, Jewish.
I love it. It's so funny. That's fucking so funny to me, dude.
Dude, where's the? You guys are missing a category for Zionist.
Oh,
that was just a joke.
That's
yeah,
the
Zionist
joke,
here for
dude.
Ethan because he's a Zionist and that's bad. Wink, wink. 90% of Jews, by the way.
Yeah, because Zionism just means that like you think that they have the right to exist. It's not that fucking deep, you know.
We're very proud of you, Denims, for bringing anti-Semitism right on stage, and you guys are killing it.
Hasan read about this situation on stream and left, fully supporting the streamers.
Many interpret the ranking as one from Arab to Jew. One panelist added, I'll just say it, there should be an even lower category called Zionist, which was met with applause from the audience.
People have downloaded and documented Hasan's chat and is constantly calling people like Ethan Zionist dogs, soulless scum. They hate anyone who thinks Israel should exist. So if 90% of Jews are Zionist and you and your community hate Zionist, it comes off as using the same coded language as the Nick Fuentes crowd.
Need to do is
because they're the same.
All this movement that's around, Jews do this. This needs to stop. This really needs to stop, and we need to focus on Zionism. Israel, Israelis. Start calling them Zionist. Start calling it Israel. Stop using the name Jews because this is what gets you demonetized. As for
this is basically just him saying, hey, we have to start dog whistling at our hatred of Jewish people. Incredible. Thank you for $2 from the Unknown Freaks. Hummus, guac, salsa, or a hell of a good clip. What the dip? I don't know, dude. Probably just cheese whiz.
Nick Fuentes, replace that word Jew with Zionist. I don't think you'll have that many issues.
When presented with that fact, Hasan calls everyone a Nazi.
That's why people don't understand. Like, there's no difference between what fucking Nazis say when they say, oh, 95% of Jews love Zionism. 95% of Jews are Zionists. Nazis say that. You know who else says that?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Dumb fucking Zionists.
Wow.
Who think that is a way to defend Zionism.
In response to this criticism, Hasan just starts pointing to every anti-Zionist Jew he knows, as if that somehow changes the facts. I'm actually friends with the Jewish guy, and he's anti-Zionist, so I gotta pass.
All of my...
Exactly. That's why I could say the N-word, dude. I have a black friend. Duh.
All of my friends...
All my friends.
That I've made through, obviously, my political acts and...
All the friends that I made who agree with me... Because I'm a content creator, they all agree with me. Isn't that concerning?
Also, my career in online media or media in general are some of the most aggro anti-Zionists you've ever met.
You wouldn't be able to say you hate 90% of an ethnic group and not get banned on most of these websites. I'm genuinely asking, at what point is it just a dog whistle? So is
At the point Hassan's at. That is the exact point where it becomes a dog whistle.
Hassan anti-Semitic? I don't know, but every action he takes comes off that way. Jewish people are getting beat up in the streets of the Netherlands after a soccer match, and Hassan thinks it's funny.
Maccabi Tel Aviv hooligans are getting attacked right now in the Netherlands after ignoring the minute of silence for Valencia victims and singing racing chants about the extermination of Arabs. Dutch Moroccans are making them aware that this isn't...
This for the children! For the children!
Well, I mean, if they're not respecting the silence for dead kids, then they deserve to be harassed, no?
Ignoring the minute...
And Hassan thinks it's funny.
Maccabi Tel Aviv hooligans are getting attacked right now in the Netherlands after ignoring the minute of silence for Valencia victims and singing racing chants about the extermination of Arabs.
Well, it sounds like they deserve to get beat up, no? If they're disrupting... Am I missing context here?
Dutch Moroccans are making them aware that this isn't...
This for the children! For the children!
What the fuck? What is happening? Is this ceased to be funny and now I'm in a bad mood? I mean, it's still kind of funny that it's like, well, not this. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Well, then what's funny about it, Hassan? Because this is the story. He then...
I mean, if the story is that there's any group of people that are disrupting like some kind of, we'll say prayer circle that mourns the death of children, whatever people did that deserve to be made fun of, no? Yeah, that's like, I guess, yeah.
And just moves on and never addresses it again.
I would just say, yeah, fuck them, right?
The next day he'd talk about it like it's a meme.
This is the funny, yeah, I mean, this is correct. Soccer fans beating each other up. What has happened to Europe? I mean, it's my assessment. When I first heard about it, I was like, wow, I'm shocked to find out that soccer fans are fighting.
These Israeli fans are not innocent. They were chanting threats to Arabs, being racist.
They rolled into town with Mossad agents, started shit, and is now a pogrom because they lost a traditional Euro-style soccer fight.
But it's just one more instance of him downplaying the violence when it comes to Jews.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't have used this one. I don't think it's a really strong suit. You know, I mean, even if you have a point there, which I don't think you do, it's just not even worth that fight there because these people seem to be, and it's not based on any ethnicity thing, but based on their actions, like they're not respecting like a moment of silence for dying children. So it's not even worth even trying to like take that fight, you know? So I disagree with that one.
When people bring up the rapes on October 7th, he scoffs, sometimes outright denying that they even happened.
What rapes did Hezbollah do? Bro, what rapes did Hamas do? What are you talking about?
Hamas has committed horrific acts of sexual violence and took
women and girls, men and boys slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the Jewish people.
Hassan's like, what? When I went to that prostitution house where there were children getting assaulted, they weren't upset by it. That's what he's thinking in his head right now. That's why he's like, what the hell? What? That's just his experience with that. I'm sorry, that was a bit over the line.
Women were horribly raped. As I said then, I say today, Israel had a right.
What message does he think he's sending? There's a reason Myron's trying to relate to him on Twitter. It's not an accident. His entire chat thinks this was...
We're getting close to the Myron Hassan masturbatory session.
Based and cool.
For the children! For the children!
Too based. Let's go. Haha, rip bozo. We must continue to protest. Hassan may feel like he's made this clear distinction between Zionists and Jews.
He hasn't. He doesn't feel that way at all. He doesn't care.
But his chat clearly isn't picking up on it. His friends aren't either. And he clearly doesn't care enough to correct them. And that brings us back to the Houthi. Let's be real, guys. If we can't call a Houthi terrorist whose motto is to destroy the only Jewish state and put a curse upon the people, promising to put him on spikes, if we can't even call him anti-Semitic, then the word is meaningless. Nobody fits its definition. In the past, I talked about how Hassan radicalized his audience. I even confronted him about it. You should check it out. But lately,
one of the very few debates Hassan would take. It's incredible.
He's been trying to radicalize other Twitch streamers. I don't think people realize how insane this is. Hassan starts off by saying propaganda is bad and that most people don't realize Israel's doing it.
Most people still operate on the boundaries.
Yeah, I'm sure Israel is engaging in propaganda. So are Hamas. Like, they're all doing it.
Of like, oh no, Israel's the Jewish state. Of course, they're doing this for the Jews, and all Jews actually care about Israel. Yada yada yada.
Well, I think Jews probably do care about Israel. It wasn't even 100 years ago that they were genocided, and that's why they wanted their own land so that they could be safe. Kind of makes sense.
That's not the case, but that's how propaganda works. So
For that reason, I'm just letting you know they will call you anti-Semitic. You shouldn't say a lot of the things I'm saying.
Keep in mind.
Nick's like, I'm my own man. I could determine that for myself.
I don't really give a fuck of what people say about me in general because I just don't
I do. Say nice things about me.
care.
Hassan then puts on terrorist propaganda.
Do you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure.
These were the people that the Saudis were killing, by the way. Just so you know, these fucking musically gifted individuals.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I need the money, guys.
I'm gonna grab my food.
Wow. It's a new. Using guns as an instrument is interesting. It's like Patrick Starr's in this fucking band.
Look at Nick's face.
What is this? Did you leave me alone in the room with like...
The music is definitely of the bomb.
Yes, some of
Pretty good.
these people look like teenagers, child soldiers. Hassan comes back and Nick asks, what are you showing me? Hassan then tries to indoctrinate him.
Can you explain this? This is a 3-minute video of... What do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like... Bad example, Chris Brown dancing, you know.
No. They do like they do musicals. They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this?
This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing this.
I would think that you made it because it's pretty bad.
Guns and shoot. This isn't a music video, Hassan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like their actions all the time.
Their actions. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, they're militarized actions. Hassan paused on a screen with an entire crowd holding signs saying, death to America, death to Israel, a curse upon the Jews.
And they love walking over. They love walking over like the American flag and the Israeli flag side by side. They will always like march on it. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet.
That's Hassan's favorite part. Hassan then pulls up a trade map and justifies the Houthis shooting commercial vessels, many of which...
I'm pretty sure when Hassan was a kid living in Turkey, he got relentlessly bullied for loving America so much, and that's what made him hate America. He just got peer pressured into it.
...are not related to Israel.
What they immediately start doing is they start saying, oh, Israel, you're going to blow up Palestinians? Well, guess what?
What?
We're going to blow you up.
He thinks they're cool.
Thought all they did was basically...
Do you really want to go gun for gun with Israel? That doesn't seem like the smartest tactic there.
Walk around with like blades in their fucking belts and look cool. I mean, I want to ask...
It looks cool, man. What are you, like a fucking... What are you, an incel?
What about the knife?
Yeah, I got a katana. I keep a katana with me. I keep a pocket knife with me. So when my fucking dad Keith tries to bully my mom, I can fucking stab him like this. That's how he acts.
The knives are sick.
He says if one of those knives comes out in front of you, it's not going back until it has blood on it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, that's crazy. Who would have ever expected that? That's crazy work.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool though. And
I think it's pretty cool.
Make musicals. They make a lot of musicals. I can show you some of them in a second.
Oh, okay.
Well, it turns out they do more than that. They go, listen, you want to fucking bring a ship through here? We're going to take it.
Whoa.
So that's exactly what the Houthis start doing.
That's crazy.
They start sending in helicopters.
Whoa.
Onto.
Now, when you say a helicopter, do you mean that they're sending in like a lot of copters? Because I'm also pretty hip with the youngsters vernacular. Helicopters, dude. And what the hell is a copter?
Two fucking ships and taking over the ships
like
and
Rust.
going, it's our ship. Yes, exactly like Rust. Fucking
Thank you so much. Sorry. Ryan Beard says, the only disagreement I have with this video is his definition of Zionism. Zionism isn't just thinking Israel should exist, specifically thinking Jews should control Israel. Maybe. I mean, like, I think that, I guess it depends on what you're talking about. I don't think it's unreasonable to say that Zionism is the idea that Israel should exist and has the right to defend itself. That's it. I don't think to the point of genociding Palestinians. But there are Palestinians who live in Israel and they vote to take part in office. I don't think it's this complete ethnic state. But it also makes sense right now that it would be predominantly Jewish, considering all the anti-Semitism in the world. At the time it was established, it was because Jews were just genocided in Nazi Germany. There was no acceptable place in the world for them to be. Every single area they existed in America, they existed in other Middle Eastern countries, but they were always second-class citizens. So they wanted their own place to be safe and secure. I don't think that's unreasonable, at least right now, until anti-Semitism dies off, which it clearly has not. I mean, anti-Semitism has spiked. It's very clearly very acceptable on the left and on the right. So I can understand them wanting a predominantly Jewish state. I mean, it just makes sense from a protectionary perspective, honestly.
Look at this. They got the Palestinian flag that they painted under the helicopter with the Yemen flag. They start overtaking the ship.
This ship is called the Galaxy Leader. It was departing from Turkey and going to India. The crew is not Israeli. It was not going to Israel. Hassan is hyped about innocent civilians being held captive.
This is like a hostile. They're streaming this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are they streaming on? Rumble?
Flexing.
What? And they're coming in hot with guns.
Yeah, but you have to understand, this is a deterrence, right? So, like, their goal is to film it and show it to the world. So, like, other companies literally are like, okay, we're not going to use the trade route anymore. All of a sudden, if you don't use the trade route, trade gets more expensive for the West.
Yes, but we can afford it. So it's mostly going to be for poorer countries that are depending on resources getting moved.
All of a sudden, if you can't use that trade route, the Israeli port is going to get bankrupt. Israel is not going to be able to...
Doubtful. It's very doubtful. Like this, it's a stupid idea because the biggest reason why America supports Israel, I'd say too much. There needs to be more penalties on Netanyahu specifically. But the reason why Israel is supported so much by the United States is because it's the most powerful Western, we'll say, bunker in the Middle East. It helps us like maintain some level of control or have some form of influence there. So like, of course, they're going to do whatever they have to do. What he's saying makes no fucking sense.
To get the materials in time that they need for waging their war. Israeli society is going to start getting upset. They're going to be like, I can't get my treats. I can't get my Amazon Prime deliveries. What the fuck is going on? I hate this. Israel sucks. I'm leaving Israel. That's the goal.
There's already a pretty strong amount of like support against Netanyahu, no, in Israel. What?
He thinks Israeli society is going to collapse and everyone's going to leave the country en masse because their Amazon package is more expensive. How does anyone take this guy's political analysis seriously?
They take it over. And they tell the people in the ship, usually like mostly Filipino people, Filipino crews.
Damn.
And they're like, all right, well, we got no problems with you, but you're coming with us. We're taking over the ship. So they did that.
And these people are still held hostage to this day. In another stream...
But they probably like it, like Hassan says. Hassan said that the Houthi terrorists told us that they loved it because they hate America so much when they get captured. It's crazy. Thank you for the $5 from James Smith. Major Taylor Greene is going to be working on the Dodge government thing with Elon. Rip Jewish space laser. Damn. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, brother. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Hassan would mourn the leadership.
I know you're talking about like the weird, the spectacle that is the... Trump fucking presidency that hasn't even started yet, but it's still somehow started.
Of Hezbollah getting killed.
Hassan Nasrallah was assassinated.
Wait, what'd you say?
They're gonna kill that little guy, Hezbollah? That's fucked up.
Hassan Nasrallah.
Who's that?
He's the leader of Hezbollah, the general secretary of Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Yeah, they're
that is also a part of the Lebanese parliament.
Do we like them or no?
I think as a resistance group, they're
Hassan likes them a lot. Yes,
pretty successful against Israel. But everybody hates them. Like everybody in the region,
because they're a terrorist.
A lot of people don't like them.
Yeah, but Hassan's a cool guy. He likes them.
Like
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say
he romanticizes the guy. His chat thinks Hezbollah is based.
Can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah based. I mean, listen, a lot of these dudes, you see them in their fucking fits. And you hear about like some of their attitude.
They're just so cool looking, guys. How can you not like them? How can you not jerk off to them violently? It's like fucking crazy.
It's about like gay people, for example, and you immediately resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million.
That's crazy. Are they better read by us by a million? They hate gays and they're smart. Wow, I'm gonna marry them. Like, what am I supposed to think about that? Like, what's the expected reaction from saying something like that?
Hezbollah as a whole has a complicated history. My problem with Hassan is that there's no nuance. He's constantly glorifying. You must be a racist if you don't like the leader of Hezbollah.
Like, it's not a broken clock situation. No,
me when I read books. Obviously, only people who read books nowadays are poor. You know what I mean? Because they can't afford tablets. I got up,
dude. Half of these dudes literally get educated in America and in the UK. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Oh, wait. So they get educated here, but you just said that they're smarter than the United States. I'm fucking confused. Why would they need to get education here if they're so much better than us?
This is why it's Orientalist.
What does Orientalist even mean? I just remember when I was young, they used to have Oriental seasoning in the ramen packets, and now they got rid of that because I guess it's not a very polite way to talk about certain groups of people. So
literally look at these dudes and go, oh no, they're fucking barbaric baboons, and like sometimes they get this right. No, dude, he knows. It's crazy. He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
I can't even imagine the books. He's like 5 Barnes and Nobles. Hassan isn't educating people on other opinions, he's radicalizing them. When asked by a viewer if Hassan would denounce terrorism just to get people off of his back, Hassan couldn't do it.
Just denounce terrorists? I do.
American
Your voice speaks loud.
terrorists.
Do with that what you will. I denounce terrorists every day.
He's going to say American terrorists.
I denounce the terror state of Israel every day.
Got him.
I denounce America's actions
True.
that are state-sponsored terror every day.
So how have we gotten to this point? How has Hassan been allowed to do this unpunished? Well, it's because Twitch supports him.
Got a big penor. That's why, guys. He's got a big old pee-pee.
Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, as well as the Houthi terrorist were all unbanned on Twitch. None of this makes any sense because these guys promote that Hitler was right. Meanwhile, it was discovered that Twitch blocked everyone in Israel-Palestine from creating accounts on desktop since October 13th, 2023. Now, you could argue that this makes sense because there's a war going on and they don't want footage on their website.
Yeah, but they've never done that before, so it's obviously a stinky little poop.
But they didn't do this with Russia and Ukraine. In fact, they never blocked a country like this before. And then you realize everyone in Palestine gets their internet from Egypt, Jordan, or Lebanon. So this only affects Israelis.
Oh, I didn't know that part. That's crazy.
Twitch has ignored Israelis complaining about this for months. This led Dan, Destiny's co-host, to do an investigation on Twitch's anti-Semitism. And what he found was insane. Twitch's current head of trust and safety was fired from her previous job due to having too strong of opinions on Israel-Palestine.
Wait, what? I didn't know any of this. Wait, this is actually insane. I didn't think it went this deep.
When Reddit would talk about how Israel is still blocked by Twitch a year later, her former employee would joke, "What has anyone from Israel done for Twitch?" Is it at all surprising that someone that works under her has this mentality? So between this, Sneeko Myron, a terrorist, Hassan Frogan, and the Arab tier list being streamed live from TwitchCon, people finally called a duck and labeled Twitch anti-Semitic. And it's hard to argue against it. Twitch is clear.
Yeah, no kidding. I didn't even know about half of this, and I already knew they were anti-Semitic. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Wow. Oh my God.
Really not enforcing its TOS when it comes to comments made about veterans or Jews. I got a whole video on Sneeko. Watch it. How was this guy unbanned on Twitch? TOS clearly states that you can't show terrorist propaganda. Meanwhile, Hassan promotes it and nothing happens. He gets sung happy birthday from Twitch staff.
Happy birthday, dear Hassan.
This is crazy.
People made a website called Twitch Your Terrorist where you could guess who said the quote, a Twitch streamer or an actual terrorist. America deserves 9/11. Well, terrorists did pull it off. Nope, it's Hassan. If Hezbollah is a terrorist organization, then America is the top terrorist organization. And it could go either way. Let's play it safe and say terrorist. Nope, it's Hassan again. Let's play the clip.
Oh my God, well, Hezbollah is a terrorist organization? Dog, if Hezbollah is a terrorist organization, then America is the top terrorist organization, which it is.
I mean, that one doesn't surprise me at all, right?
By the way, America is the top dog in terrorism, and so is Israel.
What makes a terrorist group is that they pursue their political goals by targeting the civilian population. This should not be glorified. Hassan dismisses all of that and just calls.
Thank you for the $8. Interesting. It's an interesting number. Thank you. Tracksuit Poppy. Do you think Hassan is aware he is viewed as the Alex Jones of the left, or am I giving him too much charity? Big love, Papa from Australia. I don't think Hassan is the Alex Jones of the left. Hassan is the Steven Crowder of the left. He's actually very popular. People like him a lot. He's extraordinarily unintelligent. There's zero nuance there, but he thinks he's smart. And so that's why he's so successful. Hassan is very successful because of that. That's literally it. Yeah, but
calls everyone racist.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, what you meant to say is Hezbollah is Muslim. Okay, that's what you meant to say. What you meant to say is they're Muslim.
No.
So of course, as they're Muslim, it's different.
Because every army actually is a terrorist organization that's Muslim. That's probably what this chair is saying. This chair thinks Egyptian army terrorist, Moroccan army terrorist.
This guy trolling? Obviously, they're not terrorists, right?
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, no, nobody thinks the Egyptian army is a terrorist.
Political bias from Twitch here is insane. How do you moderate your site as much as Twitch and then let all of this slide unless you're being anti-Semitic? So Dan started targeting Twitch's advertisers until Twitch decided to enforce their TOS evenly. Finally, Twitch started to ban people. Sneeko and Fresh and Fit were removed, and the 4 people on the tier list panel were banned temporarily. But not Hassan, and because of the stalemate, some creators have reported losing up to 80% of their ad revenue.
No. Jesus Christ.
But my problem is, I'm going to say it. I'm not even pissed off at the streamers for doing this fucking crazy shit. I'm pissed off at Twitch for allowing it to get to this point.
Crazy.
Facilitating it.
More and more
allowing
people are gonna fucking exit that platform, bro. It's getting crazy.
it, condoning it, or turning a blind eye.
To me, it seems like a no-brainer to temporarily ban them and get all of your ads back, but no, everyone has to suffer. They refuse to enforce their TOS. Either unban everyone for their edgy political opinions or start to enforce your TOS evenly.
I don't know why I feel like should I say I'm fine, but I'm not fine.
Hasan's politics have become more and more extreme over the past year. He runs the fence for terrorists who post Jewish people on spikes.
Look at the evidence he provided. I know all the evidence that he provided. I'm familiar with. Yeah, he's a Yemeni teen with a gun.
He laughs at
Whoa.
cops getting shot.
Better keep him away from an American school then. Not because he's from not because he's a Yemeni, just because he's a young man with a gun. That's the joke. The joke isn't race related, just to be clear. we have a gun problem in America, is the joke, okay?
Watch out! Are you okay? No, you shot me! Oh, God! Are you okay?
Got him! Women being shot's funny from Hasan. LOL. Thanks for $5 from, what is that, Boragasso? Papa, did Soda Poppin invite you to play WoW with all the other big WoW streamers? I don't know who Soda Poppin is, so I guess not. Sad stuff for Papa God, am I right?
And as of this year, he's doubled down. He stands by it, thinks it's hilarious.
Are you okay? No, you shot me! Oh, God! Are you
Yeah, the force laugh so cringe. Yeah, of course it is. He's just being a fucking weirdo. Like, I don't even care that he's laughing at the clip, but it's just like so pathetic that it's a forced laugh. Like, that's what makes it so cringe.
What the fuck? Still good. Still good.
Still good, dude.
That still bangs, dude.
Got
Yo, that's
him.
funny as...
He thinks it's funny when Jews get jumped.
children for the children?
I mean, it's still kind of funny. Soccer fans beating
Well, that one was deserved, just to be clear.
each other up. What has happened to Europe?
Nothing to do with being Jewish, but...
He often denies and scoffs when people bring up the October 7th rapes.
Bro, what rapes did f***ing Hamas do? What are you talking about?
Women were horribly raped. As I said then, I say...
Well, Hasan's laughing because that's not true. Okay, they weren't horribly raped. Apparently, according to Hasan, they liked it. I don't really understand his perspective, frankly. I don't know why he needs to downplay the assault. Like, we know that this happens when it comes to war. It's a terrible, horrific tragedy. But to pretend that, like, Hamas is perfectly innocent is just, like, dumb as shit.
Today, Israel had a...
And it's fully backed by Twitch at the cost of all other creators. This video doesn't even go into the countless lies and slander he spreads about other creators. He's a coward, hiding behind his race or the dead bodies of Palestinians rather than owning up to his mistakes.
Probably just need to bite the bullets of what? Just stop covering Gaza? Stop speaking to the humanity of the victims?
And we will get to that next video. Subscribe to the channel and be sure to check out Rocket
Subscribe to my balls.
Money. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Phoebes, Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drinko Bex, Necro Valley, Stefan Bildman, Abby Blackbird, The Confusing Opinion, Eddie Bizzle, Tismic Fitz, Christopher H, TV Anthology Reviews,
Oh,
Kate
we're getting
Gilmore,
there.
Cineal
We're getting
Music,
there.
Lucas If, ET Automatic, Snoopy
We're getting
Poop
there,
Doop 2,
Snoopy Poop Doop 2 always gets me.
ML Bay, Deep Pocket Jew,
Always
Rudy
gets me.
Boo, Drew
Okay.
Sharing, Clown Factory, Monkey D. Luffy, and the mega homies, Reynolds Hughes, Hellison, IGP, Your Taxi, Latchkey Gothboy, Cyber Katie, Lure Reloaded, Papa Gut,
Papa Gut. Incredible stuff.